computer. Okay. Oh, it's not working, is that? No, you're talking. Okay, so the significance of the spring equinox, as we all know, is that daylight starts to increase. So the Earth is about to tick over to more light, light illuminating. It's a reminder that light is returning and always starts to Earth. And therefore, light is more light. It means new seeds of growth, new paths. So the energies of this equinox is very much about the light of the Earth. It's, what's happening is that each equinox will light stronger and stronger and stronger. So, and this light, as we know, is the pure high frequency light that we've all felt and experienced, compounding since the landscape portal, and it has been building momentum. And we've all felt it. Whilst we scramble for upgrades on a cellular physical level, that is and has been required of us, and it can be a little challenging, as we've all just discussed. And part of this is, you know, I'd like to remind you all that light is information. This incoming light waves are information. And so this influx of source fractal light has been, is, and will continue to bring through even higher concentrations of fractal light deeply into our cellular systems and DNA. And this light is information. And it's bringing us closer and closer to a place where we are in formation. So it's bringing in information or information in our true and higher formation or alignment, as opposed to the outer formation or disconnected formation, which we've been forced to exist in for thousands of years here. By coming in form or alignment in this new way, we're being transformed into our intergalactic selves at ever increasing rates, which is that which we are, which we're escaping from. And you know, you guys are there. You guys are awesome. So with the equinox, in ancient times, rituals were always performed at the moment of the alignment of equinox, and people would, you know, use this to cleanse old energy out of themselves, as well as their homes and their temples, their farmlands if they were on the land. And this is where our tradition of spring cleaning came from, and I actually spent Sunday doing that. So you see how reclaiming those old sacred ways and the old mindset of past actually brings us closer both to, you know, the great spirit or source, as well as closer to the truth and the earth, because we're becoming, or we recognize the rhythms within the earth, and there are actually rhythms within us as well. So just as the length of day and night is equal, this time represents our own need for balance. Balance of the yin yang and the male female, the divine masculine, the divine feminine. Balanced equilibrium is the ideal state for our lives. And so all the purging of that which we are not, as difficult as it has been absolutely necessary, and a really good preparation part of the journey, you know, which we've been going through, well, for years, but intensely over the last few months. So as I said then, though, now it is a time of renewal, of new beginnings, of life expansion, and our hard-won growth. Blooming gloriously and ushering in a revitalized sense of energetic stability and strength. And I don't know about you, but I sort of get this spring fever thing really, and I just start to feel way more connected and way more motivated once the weather begins to warm up. Not that it's that warm up here yet. I've still got the fire going. And this has been brought in by you all and the great efforts, and sometimes, and I know specific people in this group too have had to make great sacrifices as far as all that goes. And it's to now help us all focus more fully on the current task at hand and assist us to move forward in in new and creative and positive ways. So that's, you know, that beautiful spring equinox, and it really is a favourite time of year for me, the spring. So our Mother Earth went through another level of undoing of the old during the recent months as vibrations lifted within the planetary field. And this is in direct alignment with our own personal undoing or loosening up of the old within ourselves. As I've said previously, this is a joint mission between ourselves and Mother Earth, a united effort in which we are in an interdependent, not a codependent, an interdependent unit, a synergistic dance partner, if you will, of union. And so many light beings and our star family are assisting Gaia's shift as we continue to sort of flush and transform, and then flush a bit more and transform a bit more. All the energies. And this must continue until the ever-expanding light vibrations have fully stabilized. And we're the ones that are doing that. We're the ones that are stabilizing those new energetic signatures. And so, yes, we're the ones that are doing the stabilization and integration into our own system. And it's got to reach a degree in which the distortion prints or entities or dark matrix, whatever name you want to give it, until they will no longer find an accessible receptacle to latch onto on the planet. And so there are many, many loving galactic and solar beings hovering around the Earth and the solar system right now, focused on us. Some working comprehensively or overlighting the whole, and others come into focus with specific ascension alignments during specific portals, or with specific groups of soul groups when they work together, and with those people in that group individually, or other assignments inside, you know, the great interlocking of the Christ consciousness light grids, because they're grids of light. And all of us that are working with the earth grids of light are part of that interlocking of that Christ consciousness, both around and within this planet, to keep Mother Earth's ascension on track, but also on a soul or spirit level. Our higher dimensional selves are part of those teams. And when we embody our higher dimensional selves, which, you know, we're basically doing on a daily basis, maybe not 24 hours a day, but certainly a lot of it. As Robin said earlier, she has no recollection of yesterday. So she was fully embodied and working as part of those teams in what had to be done yesterday. And we'll experience things like that more and more. We're all working on multiple dimensional levels in countless aspects of support, like especially during our dream state, but we're also to the stage now where we've integrated so much of these light scaffoldings into our system that we're doing it even in our waking states, obviously, and we're feeling it. And even sometimes during the day we're being, you know, if you sort of feel like you're being pulled out of your human vessel to assist at certain times, that's what's going on. You know, that's what's going on, and that happens to me a lot. This may be felt as the overwhelming fatigue, in which you're required to have a little nap for a period of time, or just lay down and rest. Or those days when you feel out of it during the day, but sort of you push yourself through the motions because you've got things that you have to do on a human level. But
but you sort of spend the day in a fog or feeling totally disconnected from what's, you know, going on around you at that human level. And these are very strong indications that you're working in a high dimensional level simultaneously as walking on the planet here, doing your day-to-day things, including, you know, maintaining the stability of the higher light frequencies in the planet's Merkaba fields and our Merkaba fields. And so you may have been experiencing these episodes more frequently, is what I'm trying to say, especially this week, as it's been amplified through the equinox portal vibration and these massive solar flares that we've had, not to mention the Schumann resonance, the Schumann frequency of the planets was up to about 98. Now, for many, many years, it was around the 7.5. It sort of sits around the 20-ish on average now, but, you know, we're having massive Schumann resonance rising, and at the same time we're getting solar flares. So no wonder we're tired. You know, plus we're working, whether we're aware of it or not, we're working interdimensionally. And so, yes, we've all been busy this week. And the other very important aspect of your off-planet work you've likely been participating in is also the massive solar flare, which was predicted to hit today or tonight. And I have felt the difference with that. So I know that it's now sort of coming down upon the planet, which is actually a massive frequency wave. So now this will also have had physical effects on our bodies, which could have presented any time during this week as flu-like symptoms or any other physical types of purging, as well as heightening our out-of-body mission work and our in-body of integration of this. Because as we know, it's all interrelated. And what I think is important to point out is that, you know, if you're into number sequences at all, or specific number vibrations, today's date resonates with the Fibonacci sequence. Essentially, we're resonating with the 693 today. So 24 adds up to 6, and then we've got the 9, and then 2019 is a 3. Or more classically, as I said, the energy of 369, which is really, really powerful stuff. So, that being said, I think we all need to take a big, deep breath. Hold it for a minute. And then just release. Oh, that feels a bit better. Okay, so spring is the time the earth bursts back to life, and it feels to me that this equinox is powerfully significant as we're observing and participating in a moment in quantum time when the earth and all life upon her is also bursting back to life in all the pure, magnificent, galactic, higher dimensional glory. And so I remind you all, this spring equinox is the ideal moment. And, you know, this doesn't just apply to equinox. I'm always on about this, to get out in nature and to honor her in whatever way you see fit. Maybe plant something in your garden, take yourself to the mountains, a park, onto the earth, onto the beach, and into the big wide world. Just get out there. And she's waking up. And by taking part in that wake-up call, we too can awaken more than you realise. Sorry, it's a bit smoky in here. My fire sort of spluttered out, and now it's just smoking. So what matters, yeah, is you know, just get yourself out of the house. Go for a hike. Go to the beach. Have a swim in the salt water. Just get out onto the earth. And yes, we too can awaken more than you realize by doing this. There are spiritual growth points available to us during this spring equinox period, and it's up to us to connect and utilize them for the highest good of all. Light is returning to the world in a big way. Take that principle and run with it in a really practical sense. Be the light for someone else. Reach out to others who are ready. Don't waste your energy with those who are not. And for those who are ready, offering help and support, because some of this, in the beginning can be very confusing and confronting. Even your company and your compassion could be all that's needed with people that are feeling confused and feeling things they don't understand, particularly vibrations and aches and pains and headaches and stuff. At this point of balance, you guys can gather and draw on your own strength and confidence to speak up for those who have no voice, reset the balance of power in your own way, which we're always trying to do on the planet. As the Earth's own balance is temporarily restored in the moment of the equinox, which was actually yesterday, there's a sense of optimism and possibilities, and I'm sure you're all feeling it. Tap into this through the power as the balance between what has been and what is yet to come. This is the perfect set point for that, because, it's like the seesaws in that perfect, balanced, flat sort of state. Because as we said earlier, this is traditionally a time of birth and rebirth, to nurture new talents. And we're receiving, as part of these light influxes and these, which are information, we're receiving more of our abilities and also new talents which we've, had no awareness of before, and probably haven't actually even had an awareness of planetary wise. So really, it's time to start to unfurl our own gifts, so that our abilities and ideas can blossom. It's a good time to set all that in motion. It's your time to shine, guys. Remember that you really are divine beings on this planet, and that you came here to assist, to be part of the solution of evolution on this planet. And I just want to say thank you to each and every one of you that are listening here tonight and will listen to this in the future. And I want to remind you that you're all so valuable. You're so precious. And that we are all united in the same cause. We're working together as different points of light on the planet to bring awakening and to bring liberation. It's what we came here to do. And we are. For many months we've been sort of wondering and speculating about, these huge and sort of really monumental shifts that are destined to take place in the coming months. We're just about done with September, but October, November, December, know that we're reaching a real energetic crescendo. I'm getting really hot. I'm getting a massive download on this spring equinox. The equinox is a highly auspicious moment to come together in our ascension group, which we are doing in order to harness the potent light dispensation that is destined to bombard the Earth's atmosphere, you know, yesterday, today, the day before that, and for the next few days especially. So, you know, we're brothers and sisters. It's important to know that these new light codes that are pouring in are truly unprecedented. We know this, we feel this, and they hold a structural light patterning unlike anything the Earth has ever known. These light codes hold particular patternings that interlock specifically with our light codes and patternings, our light scaffolding, and they're specifically with humanity's DNA in order to send new instructions, particularly to any DNA that's still dormant, any strands. It sends instructions to the strands to activate, awaken, and come out of their dormant state. And I'm feeling that's, which is sort of known as the event, is drawing closer and closer now. And very soon, many of you will be needed by the souls that are still asleep in your community. And for them, some of them, it'll be not so bad a transition. It'll actually be a very sort of exciting phenomena. For others, it's going to probably nearly send them crazy. So when they come for help, it'll be you guys that they come to, and you're ready. Believe me, you're ready. Okay.